welcome.
Good evening,
Oh,
everybody.
got my can of worms. uh, I've used a lot of live bait and stuff, and I can probably honestly say one of the best things is still that night crawler. That
Yeah,
night crawler will get them worms will get stuff left and right. Oh boy, we'll wait and get a few minutes. See who all jumps in here. Let's see here.
if I didn't have to work, it would have been a nice day to go fishing here today.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. Got a couple more things I want to get done first before I get started on taking that out. So hopefully this week, though. I'm really looking at this week going out. So we'll have to see. And it was a little toasty today, but um, wasn't too bad. I did get some lobster.
I think
Had some lobster.
you did.
Yep.
Was it good?
It wasn't too bad at all. Wasn't too bad at all. I wouldn't say it's the best I ever had because I've had fresh, you know, caught lobster.
Yeah, that'd be some
Um,
good eating.
yeah,
Couldn't tell you the last time I had lobster. I've had it, but it's been a while.
yeah. Well, I bet you get more crab and stuff from down there.
Oh yeah, crabs, crawdads. If you like that
Oh
type of
yeah,
thing, as many crawdads as you can handle.
yeah,
Crawdads, crayfish, crawfish.
yeah, yeah. Up here they call them crawdads, and down south Louisiana area, Mississippi area, they're crayfish. Um,
They're good eating. If you get you some fresh ones, some good ones, they're
oh
good
yeah,
eating. I like them.
yeah. Uh, that was probably the last time I had some uh, fresh. I should say when we went down to Mississippi, um, went and got it was almost a full 5-gallon bucket, and just laid it on the table and just went to town on them things.
Mm.
Oh, my my ulcers kicked in back then. Oh
Oh, I
man.
bet.
Yeah.
Especially if they got that good Cajun seasoning in it.
Oh yeah. They was uh, to me they were on the spicy side, but yeah. Well, let's see. We got B Charmin, we got Eric in here. We got Willard Hall. How you doing today? Dana B, TN Twister, TH2. I think that might. Oh, Bubble Bibble. We got a Bubble Bibble in here, and I think that might be it. Yeah. So, um, down Georgia, you guys, you have that big lake. Um,
Lake Lanier.
yeah, that's it. Have you ever been fishing there?
You know, I've been to Lake Lanier dozens of times, but never fished.
Oh, really?
I've never fished there. Nope. I've been there, worked around it, partied around it, cooked out around it, but never threw a rod in the water.
Yeah, I do know that they have a lot of tournaments there.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
well, and that's mainly now, like up here in Ohio, we have big deer, and make fun of the people down south that they have little deer and stuff. And it's kind of opposite with fishing and stuff like that. Down south, they got the big bass.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
the big hefty ones. I mean, there's still some big ones up here, but not like there is down south. And that's why they have a lot of tournaments down there.
Also, about 20 minutes, 25 minutes from me, you have Clarks Hill, which is the largest reservoir in Georgia. And they have a bunch of probably, I don't know, about 2 to 3 tournaments, I say, a year up there.
Mm-hmm. When you go fishing, do you go in a boat or mainly bank fishing?
A little bit of both, mainly bank fishing though.
Yeah,
There's still a few good spots around here that you can still do some good bank fishing. People ain't done fished them all up, or it don't get too crowded, you know.
yeah. Now, I know it's different in most states, even though a lot of people say it's not, but um, like your game wardens and stuff, the regulations and stuff. Um, how strict are they in Georgia area?
I guess it just depends on the areas or the particular mood the person may be in that day. Usually
Yeah,
they don't give you much of a problem. They'll come up, you know, ask for your fishing license. Here in the state of Georgia, anybody 16 or over, you know, has to have a current fishing license. 16
yeah,
below, you're good. Uh, but most time, long as you ain't really causing a problem or a fuss, they ain't really give you much of a hard time.
yeah. I did talking with Eric. Uh, I did notice that there's uh, what you use to measure fish. A lot of differences in the measuring or what you use to measure. And like he was saying that he gets the same thing that the game wardens use, so there's not no mix up. And
Yeah.
a lot of times, if they measure and then you had measured before and it's a different one, they go by what they measure with.
Oh yeah, yeah. Anytime, yeah, there's a discrepancy, they're going to use their measure of measure. I guess you could say, yeah. I mean, I uh keep a little small, you know, handyman tape measure in the tackle box, or you know, some people, a lot of your boats now, when you go fishing, they've got like a little scale already on there, or you can get one, you can buy one that kind of goes hand in hand with your state regulations, or however that goes.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes it is best to go with the same thing that they're using.
Yeah.
Is that mix up could cost you some money.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
As long as you're not being a total prick about it, you know, most of them, I mean, they're not out trying to give you a hard time, you know,
Oh yeah.
but you know, if you want to be a butt, then they can, you know, there is fines and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Um. Now toward the Gulf area, do you still have to have a license to fish in that?
I think it's all the same. I think it only differs like if you want to like go out on a boat, stuff
Okay.
like that, like commercialized maybe.
Yeah.
Um, I've never did any saltwater deep sea fishing myself, but I think it's pretty much the same, you know. I think it only
Yeah.
changes once you go out on a bigger boat or something like that.
Yeah. When I was in Florida, I could have swore I never needed a license, which could have been because um I don't know. It seemed like it was different back then. Nowadays, it seems like um, you put a line in and they can smell it. You know, all of a sudden here they come. Do you have a license? Yeah, here you go. um, because I don't know. It just seems like you get stopped so much more nowadays than when I used to fish back in the day and
And
whatnot. Um, yeah, I remember when taking my kids out and everything, they would question them and saying how old you are and is this your pole? Are you using two poles? And it's a big difference compared to nowadays from when I was younger.
no,
Uh,
and even your Georgia fishing license, there's some places in Florida that you can fish with the Georgia fishing license. But it's something that's pre-stated. They have certain agreements along the coastline.
oh, okay. Well, that's kind of good.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. What's when you go out fishing? What do you usually go for?
Oh man, there's so much around here. Uh,
Yeah.
it just depends. I mean, we've got, of course, like the bass population, catfish,
Hmm.
uh, brim, different stuff like that. Um, Believe it or not, Georgia has over 2,000 miles of area in North Georgia that's really good for trout. I've never been.
Oh,
Uh, yeah, trout fishing. Of course, off the coast, you have your sea bass and stuff like that.
yeah.
But here locally, probably just catfish, bass, brim, stuff like that. I
Now,
mean, you can
now,
sit there and catch them all day.
do you fish to eat, or you just toss them back in?
Mm, Sometimes I'll go to eat. I'll say, well, I'm going fishing, and if I catch enough worth keeping, I clean them up, have a little fish fry. Sometimes not so much. I'll just go just for a little relaxation.
Yeah, I'm. I mean that's you hear that a lot, and there's people that fish that can't stand the taste of fish, um,
Yeah,
but they still fish,
I know
which is
people like that.
nothing wrong with it. It's a relaxing sport. Uh, depending how many rat nests you get in your reel.
Yeah, it's like one of my buddies. He's like probably one of the best fishers I've ever known, and he don't even eat fish. He just does it because he enjoys it. He's good at
Yeah,
it.
and it seems like those are the good fishermen too.
Yeah.
The ones that don't catch them or you know. I have seen some uh, that will catch for the trophies.
Oh
Putting
yeah.
the trophy on the wall and stuff.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame you. But there are ponds around here that you can get some good fish out of. But the rivers, I wouldn't trust getting anything from a river in this state.
Yeah.
um,
I'm kind of like that for the most part in the savannah. I mean, it's a beautiful river. You can catch a lot of stuff, but more times than not, that'll be my place where I just catch and release.
oh yeah, definitely. Um, there's been some say that uh, catching and they'd have the fish in their hands and it actually burns their hand. Now that's part of the Ohio River, but
Yeah.
and there's still people that will eat fish out of that river. I'm like, ugh.
It's like
And
Clark's
there's
Hill. They say there's fish in there that's as big as a beetle. They say there's always those stories of those big fish, but it wouldn't surprise me.
yeah, there's a question for you. Have you ever went and done the noodling thing for catfish?
I've never went noodling, but I'd like to try it. I'd like to go. Yeah, I'd definitely like to try it.
Yeah, you would have to find some deeper water because you have to get down in there pretty good. Um, yeah, you don't almost have to lay down to get them out of there.
Yeah,
Tall as you are.
but yeah, I'd definitely like to go. For sure.
Um, now, everybody has one of those, and I asked Eric this. Everybody has that one story that gets them hooked on fishing. Uh, what's your big fish story? I guess you would call it.
Mm, I don't know. I remember as a kid, I thought the guy was a worldwide celebrity. You know, I didn't know he was just a local guy. But it was every Saturday when the cartoons went off. I think it was on CBS. It was a show that came on, Gone Fishing with Ralph Barbie. He's like a local celebrity, really, but I thought he was world famous, and I'd watch
Oh,
him, and he catch all different type of fish. But probably going fishing with my granddad first time. It was
yeah,
me, him, my grandma, my sisters. We just all went to the state ponds, and that was my first time, and I loved it. And then it was a book, the uh, junior anglers or something like that. My mom signed me up for that, so I used to get all these fishing books and different type of stuff they send me. Just it's so easily accessible to go fishing somewhere, pond, creek, river around here. It's
yeah,
hard not to get hooked on it.
yeah, yeah. I remember when I was coming up. You After school or on the weekends, you would see a bunch of kids going fishing. Um, and it's a shame that you don't see that as much. Still see it every once in a while, but now, because I mean, I had little rod holders on my bicycle that would hold my rods while I I pedaled down the road.
Yeah.
Um, Nowadays they got them fancy backpacks that you put their fishing rods in and stuff. Every once in a while you'll see a kid walking down the road getting headed to the fishing hole.
Hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's like I said, it's uh it's a shame that there's not more young kids out there doing it because it's one of those sports that needs to be continued. You know what I mean? You don't it's a shame that, like I said, you don't see many kids doing it anymore, and
So
less grandparents taking them out and stuff. I think that's how it all starts.
it's like
Get
the old
hooked on.
saying, give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime.
Yeah, yeah. I remember my dad. I still have it. I don't know what the name of the knot is or anything, but I still have the same. I still tie my my knots on my swivel, or be it on a lure. I still have the same way that my grandpa taught me. I Like I said, I don't know if it's the best way, or I've never had a lure slip off. I've had line break plenty of times, but I've never uh, had it slip off. And to this day, that's the same knot that I used that my grandpa showed me. I don't know what it's called or anything. All I know is that's just the way he did it, and he's the one that showed me how to do it, and I used the same way.
It works. Ain't no need to change it.
Yeah. Now us talking and everything, you were talking about wanting to get a kayak, but you'd have to get a bigger one.
Oh yeah.
Is that something you would get into, especially down there? I mean, you
Um.
probably have a lot of places to close by to
Oh
do
yeah. There's
kayak
plenty.
fishing.
I even thought about going downtown on the Riverwalk down there where the people dock their boats and they've got a bunch of houseboats. There's a
Yeah,
guy. He's got a kayak rental and he's got a kayak size for anybody. I thought about going down there, maybe trying that out one day, just seeing how it felt. If I felt comfortable with it. Um, but yeah, that could be something I'd like to get into. I mean, it's something I could have easy access to a lot of different places. So I mean, if I had one, I definitely could use it.
yeah. That was my thinking. It is I could just back up to a body of water and plop it in and paddle away. Of course, I got one that's got a trolling motor on it, so I don't think I would use it all the time because the exercise is good, but
Oh yeah,
um, something if I wanted to hurry up and get over the other side of the lake real quick.
oh yeah, yeah.
Now, on a big,
Having it's definitely a big bonus for sure.
yeah, bigger lake, I don't think I would try to zoom across the other side because too often you see kayakers just getting mowed down by the bigger boats, or they go by you real quick, so they watch you flip over.
But yeah, it ain't nothing to go down to the river or something on the weekend and you just see a couple dozen people just out there. Some just kayaking the kayak, some fishing.
Yeah, and um one of the best things I think there is, and it's sitting on the bank, but um is night fishing.
Oh yeah,
Uh, get you a good fire going and have a weenie roast out there, or roast some, do some s'mores or something, and sit out there and fish. I
we used to
mean,
do that with my
nothing better
uncle
than
and his
that.
buddies go out there and night fish, cat fishing, and yeah.
Yeah. And we used to be this one spot we'd go, and there's this uh, there was this board. Well, it was like a railroad tied type board, and it had a hammer on one side and a nail on the front side, and it said replace when done. I didn't know what it was, and my grandpa says that's for skinning them catfish, them big catfish. And we ended up getting a good sized one. He put it up there and put a nail through the head and just pulled the skin down
Yeah.
and laid it right there on that, standing up on that board, and pulled the nail out, put it back over and with the hammer, and we were on our way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What would you say your favorite uh place to go fishing down your way?
Mm, probably now probably be like some smaller ponds, maybe like some smaller private ponds, stuff like that, or um, not too probably about 30 minutes from here. They've got some state ponds out in Lincolnton, And how that works is you go out there, you got to pay a fee. I think it's, I don't know, maybe $5. But it's one of those spots, they keep it pretty well stocked and you're going to catch some stuff, you know. If you want to go somewhere and you want to catch fish, then you probably want to go there. They keep a pretty good selection out there.
Yeah.
But of course,
Um,
they got the rules and regulations, you know, about the size, so you got to be mindful of that. But other than that, pretty much what you catch, you can keep.
yeah, and that's the and like you go down the coast and everything, they have a lot more different regulations. There's like if a fish is too big, you can't catch it. If it's too small, you can't catch it or keep it rather. There's a lot of different regulations for the coast and stuff like that. That's why I think it's a lot easier inland because depending on where you go. I mean,
Yeah.
there are some lakes that you can't catch or you can't keep bluegill or um, certain times of the year. That way, there's more. Uh, there's more for later.
And
And
it's pretty diverse here in Georgia. You know, I mean, we're right on the coast, so you can go down to Savannah and get you some good saltwater fishing. You can go deep sea fishing. I've never been, but that's on my list of things to do. Or,
mhm,
like I said, you can go to North Georgia, and there's 2,000 miles that you can catch different types of trout. There's a little bit of
yeah,
everything here.
yeah, that's one fish I really enjoy is trout. Um, yeah. And I ate when I was in doing the New York thing when I was uh, basically camping out for about 9 months. I ate a lot of trout, and you would think I would get sick of it. Oh
Oh,
man,
it's some good eating. I like it.
nothing better. And I got so good at cooking that I could just smell it and know when it was done.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. See, even Eric knows about the
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you
trout
want to,
streams up there.
that's something else I like to do. I like to go trout fishing.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember one of the best ways to catch trout in the stream. There was this inlet part that kind of the water would swirl around, and there's a tree over top of it. I would sit over top of this tree and just dangle a jig on top of the water, and them trout would go up there and snag, and I'd sling the fish back and forth until it got to the bank, and then I would run, climb back down the tree, and put him on the stringer and go back down and do the same thing above that tree to where it just dangling in the air. As soon as that thing would make the water ripple a little bit, then trout up there and snag it. Um, since everybody's in chat talking about food, uh, what's your favorite fish to eat?
I don't know if I really got a favorite per se. I mean, it's a good fish. I like it. Um,
Yeah.
you can't go wrong with fried catfish.
Ooh. Yeah.
Um, fry you up some brim. I know my buddy, him and his dad, they go to in these deep sea fishing competitions, and they mainly go for kingfish. He
Oh
always
yeah.
brings me some back, and that's some good stuff. Just
Yeah.
throw it on the smoker.
Yeah. I seen a video of them trolling for the kingfish, and they were bringing them in left and right, and they were saying there's a size that you want for you don't want them too big or you don't want them too small. There's a certain size for eating.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, he brings me some back, the whole fillets, and man, I love it.
oh, I bet. Let's see here. And your catfish, how do you go about cooking your catfish up? I'm gonna make everybody hungry.
Well, I know everybody's hand's different, but if it's about the size of my hand, give or take a little bit bigger, I say that's a good fish for frying. Uh, and if they're small enough, I won't even worry about skinning them. You know,
Yeah,
I'll just clean them up, season them up, put them in a little buttermilk, almost like I would chicken. You know, mix
yeah,
a little flour, cornmeal together, season that up good, and just fry them puppies up to their golden brown deliciousness.
yeah. Oh, yeah. They're good fish to to cook up. I'll give you that. Here, let
Oh
me
yeah,
see if I got a video here. Uh, wait for everything to load up. There we go.
Find yourself in Georgia with an itch for fish. Then visit these 5 lakes that are superb. Georgia's largest lake is Lake Lanier, a
yep.
popular fishing spot in the state. Lake Allatoona is the perfect spot for fishing, boating, and more. Lake Hartwell is known for its bass population and
Yep.
great views. Lake Seminole's shoreline spans 376 miles, so anglers can choose to fish by the bank or on a boat. Clark's Hill Lake is a perfect spot
Clark
for
said
both
that's right
fishing
up the
and
road for
hunting,
me.
and that's the reason why.
Yeah. Clark's Hill is about 25 minutes from me. I'm right in the middle of it.
Oh, okay.
And that's the largest reservoir in the state of Georgia.
Yeah, is that one of the deep reservoirs?
Oh, it's deep. They say
Oh,
that's the one they said they've seen fish in there as big as Volkswagens.
okay.
And yeah,
Oh boy.
I forget how many feet deep, but yeah, it's pretty deep.
Yeah. I watched this lady as her first time doing the kayak fishing thing, and she just had a regular, paddles. She didn't. It wasn't motorized, or there wasn't the little paddles that you or foot pedals that you power it with or anything. And she got a hold of a big fish. Not sure where it was or anything like that. And this fish was pulling her all over the lake. This other lady that was with her, she caught up to her because she had one of the pedal ones, and she grabbed a hold of her boat and then started going in reverse because that fish was pulling her. And they got up to the bank to where the one lady got out and could pick up the fish. I don't know what fish it was because it was people were filming it from a good ways away, but they were picking it up and it was a big fish. Uh, but the funny thing was is watching this lady get pulled all over the place. And she couldn't reel it in. Couldn't reel it in. She could only reel it in so far, and then that fish would just go, whoosh, going away.
Just
Yeah.
like my buddy, his sister, she got a piece of property and it's like it's private. I mean, unless you live there, you don't even know the lakes back there. But she's got one of them little boats. It's a 2-seater, and that's how you control it by the foot pedals. And they was out there fishing one day. It was just her in the boat, and she done caught a bass, a pretty good sized one, and it started turning her around in that thing.
Yeah. I think that'll be the fun part is that first time you get pulled.
Oh yeah, you know you got a hold of something.
Yeah.
Around here, you just hope it ain't a gator.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. That's one thing. I wouldn't mind being in a boat. Now, as long as it's a big enough boat that gator is not going to jump
Yeah.
up on the boat. Because I've seen down south in Louisiana where people were out on a pontoon, and the gator got up there and uh, swam up on top of the pontoon and snagged the little Chihuahua dog and was gone. And just yeah, there ain't no way. If I was out on a pontoon, I would make sure that there was a gate around there so that he couldn't get up there.
Oh yeah, I know that's right.
Ooh,
Most around here aren't they're not super aggressive, you know.
yeah,
Now if you walking around some banks around the time some might be hatching or they're nesting up, then I mean you could run across a mama that's kind of aggressive, but that's normal. But most times you see them from a distance, you know.
now is it true that they get more aggressive during a drought? Because I don't know, the water goes down and there's less food or something. I don't know.
I guess it could be. I guess that could be, you know. Um, Starting drought, maybe certain birds or certain prey that would come around those waterways don't go, so they're
Yeah,
not getting as much food, or uh, fish population may decrease, you know, or they eat up the fish because the pond's gotten smaller and they could get more aggressive. I could see that to be true.
yeah. I never knew the reason, but it was on the Swamp People show. They were saying that there's a drought, so you got to be more careful because they get aggressive during droughts.
Yeah, I could see that.
Uh, so you got any plans of doing any fishing since you got all this cool weather down there?
I'm definitely need to make some plans for sure. Now that it's
Yeah,
cooling off a little bit. The day would have been a great day, actually. I mean, it was overcast. It felt nice out. It's supposed
yeah,
to be like that for, I think, at least the next 10 days they're projecting, but we'll see how that goes.
yeah. I was watching the weather earlier, and they were saying, "Oh, just walk right on by. You know, I'm having a show here, you cat." That the drought is so bad here. It's the third since they started recording it. It's ranked the third of all time in Ohio.
Been
In
tracking that.
some counties.
Yeah. Since I've been talking to you, I've been tracking some stuff like that on Ohio. Well, I sent you
Yeah,
that one email that time about the drought, but
yeah,
yeah, I mean, it's almost been similar in a way, especially during the summertime, especially this year with both of us, and we've had little to no rain. And when you got rain, it's probably about the same time we got it. Um,
yeah. And they said that. Do you mind? Leave it alone. The and it's weird because uh one person, their soybeans are doing really good. They're waist high and everything, and there's somebody down the road growing soybeans, and they're doing really bad. Same thing with pumpkins. The pumpkins didn't get enough water, so they're weird shaped, and they're
yeah,
um, just not growing. So they're talking about a pumpkin shortage, which is odd that I've never heard of a pumpkin shortage.
me neither.
And that and corn. So in this state, and I can imagine, the neighboring states are having the same issue. Um, yeah, that those are some of the shortages that will be coming.
I definitely could see it. Yeah. And it's like in my area, like storms will come through, and it's like right when it gets to that I-20 corridor, it just like splits in half. Half goes up, half goes down.
Yeah,
And I think we probably had one good day of rain each month. One day of good rain each month this summer, which is hardly anything.
yeah. Now, uh, bait. Do you have like a favorite lure, or do you have like a favorite bait that you use? And I know depending on what you're fishing for and stuff, but
Yeah, depending on what I'm fishing for. I got a couple little go-to baits. I've got some that's just been passed down that I don't even use. It just got more value that way. Or I
yeah.
mean, I think the first thing I ever fished with was a cricket. Went out with old can of crickets, and
Mhm.
I used to tear them up that way. Of course, you really ain't gonna fish for everything that way. Or like catfish, they like chicken livers, stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you're going out if you know you're going to a spot and you want to catch some catfish, just take you some chicken livers. They love them.
Yeah. Muskingum River. I used to live in McConnellsville, and on Route 60, animals would get, raccoons and groundhogs and you name it. They'd be pancaked on the road. We used to pick them up and put them in an old Brillo sack and put a couple rocks in there, and then we would throw them out in front of our dock area where we had access to, and we'd go there at nighttime and catch fish like crazy. We would just put chicken livers on and sit out there and just left and right pull out catfish, because that all those dead animals in that sack would lure the fish from all over the place. And oh man,
Oh
it was
yeah,
good fishing.
it works.
You found out that you're not allowed to do that.
Just like it's like same concept when you do like commercial fishing and stuff. They chum the waters and stuff and bring the fish in.
Yeah, yeah. I watched somebody. They have these blocks. It's like a brick of chum
Yeah.
or whatever, and they would put it inside of a net, and they would sit there for a few minutes, and then they would dump oats in the water, and I guess that made like a feeding frenzy. So
Yeah.
they would start catching fish like crazy. Yeah. Hey Chuck, how's it going? Good to see you. Haven't seen you around for a while.
Big Chuck. Good to see you, buddy.
What's the weirdest thing that you used for bait?
Weirdest thing.
Yeah.
Uh Probably a piece of cheese.
A piece of cheese.
Literally a piece of cheese. And I caught a brim with it. Yeah. I was
um,
surprised.
believe it or not, and I haven't seen anybody fish with this, but if you want a good fight, as in a fish, um, we would put um, corn on the hook and throw it out there, and carp would go after that like crazy. I don't know what it is about uh,
Huh.
corn, but yeah, and you get a 20-pound carp on there, and oh man,
I bet that's a fight.
yeah, that to me that is so much fun, especially if you have a small pole and your 4-pound or 8-pound test line, and it's a challenge to get something big on the shore like that. Yeah, I've caught catfish on hot dogs many times.
Oh yeah, hot dogs. Yeah,
Yeah,
yep. Used to be a cheap bait, not so much anymore.
yeah. Live bait. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I've picked up seen a bug and it seems like I'll bring night crawlers or something or shrimp or minnows or something and fish with that, and then I'll see something on the shore like a grasshopper or something, and I'll put that grasshopper on there and toss it out there, and I'll get the best fish.
Yeah.
But if I don't bring anything, I'll never see anything. I've heard the Kool-Aid thing. Yeah.
Huh. Wonder what's in it that they like. Well, I mean, of course, the chicken, but
Yeah. And garlic powder. I don't know. I never knew about the garlic powder though. Yeah, dough's good. Making dough balls. Yeah, we even like if you get some hamburger you just didn't get to, and it kind of got a stink to it. Mix that with some some bread or making a dough ball. Oh man,
I
that's some
bet.
good stuff.
And there's so many bait stores around here. Matter of fact, one county over from us, there's a huge cricket facility. It was even featured on the show Mike Rhodes' Dirty Jobs.
Oh, I think I seen that one.
Oh man, that place is huge, and they breed and raise crickets, and they sell crickets. Man, they sell a ton of crickets.
Oh, I bet.
And of course, we
Yeah.
got live baits, bait shops, stuff like that. If I want some worms, I just go dig a hole in the yard, and boom, I got a handful right there.
Oh, really? Huh. Shrimp like corn too. Huh.
You can see a little shrimp trying to eat a piece of corn. There's a little shrimp mouth.
Huh. Yeah, up in this area, there used to be a lot more bait places and fishing tackle places and stuff. Um, I did go to Ollie's today, and they marked some of their fishing stuff down. It's the rubber bait stuff, the little rubber worms and things.
Yeah,
Picked up a couple more, another pack. What else? Yeah, down the going to a canal area down here. There used to be 3 or 4 different bait places. None. And you go down through there now. They're all out of business and stuff. And only place to get bait here in this area now is, and it's not live bait. It's night crawlers. You got to get them at Walmart or Rural King. That's it. That's the only places
huh?
in the area right now. Oh,
Now I know even with all the access to waterways here in the area, I know a lot of places have closed down. Some of the ones that I remember, but I mean, there's still some left.
yeah,
And of course, we got your big box franchises, like your Cabela's or we got a
yeah,
Bass Pro Shops.
yeah. Now, does your Bass Pro place, does it have like a fishing place in there that, or aquarium where bass
No,
are
I wish it
swimming
did.
around?
I
Oh,
wish it did.
yeah. I don't know where that's at, but I'd like to go check that out and just see the fish, big bass and bluegill and stuff swimming around.
I think they even let you, the ones that's got it, I think you can even like just fish, just play around with it.
Huh.
Some of them, I've seen some where you could.
Yeah,
But you,
up here, there's no really bait, shrimp bait, but you just go to the Walmart and get the cheap little baby shrimps and use those, and they do pretty good sometimes.
yeah,
Yeah.
I have used some of them before. I had a pack that I had in the forgot about, and they was a little funky, and they worked pretty good.
uh, uh, what's the have you ever caught the rare, albinos or anything like that?
No, I haven't, not personally. But there's been a lot of people around the area that's caught some really weird fish. Um,
Mhm.
I know it's probably about 10 years ago. Uh, Probably about 20 minutes from me at this place called Briar Creek. A guy called a pacu, which is the cousin of the piranha.
Ooh.
It's not really from this area, but he caught that. There's been a couple other weird type fish. A guy right across the river in Carolina, he caught was it like a 20-something pound goldfish. I guess somebody had to turn it loose, and yeah, this thing was massive.
And it survived?
Yeah, it was just thriving. I mean, it was just getting bigger and bigger.
Huh.
Yeah, there's been several of those cases like around here in Georgia. The DNRs went out and they found these goldfish, different ponds, different things, and they're just thriving. They're just getting bigger.
Huh.
Uh,
Yeah, I've seen some weird, because it seems like bluegill, um, that they'll they'll breed with the other types of other families of the bluegill,
yeah.
be it crappie or whatever. Um, some weird colorization and weird shapes of those of bluegill. Um,
Oh yeah.
and mainly in ponds, to where that's all they have in that area
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
breed
There's
with.
no. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not a river. Yeah, where they could just. Yeah.
yeah. I did catch the albino catfish once, and
Hmm.
I was scared to touch it because I thought that it was like radioactive or something, because it was plain white, had pink eyes, and yeah, I was afraid to touch that thing. I didn't know what it was, so I got the pliers and yanked that hook out and just let him flop right down into the water, and yeah, and then found out later that it was actually a rare fish. I don't. Yeah, back then we didn't take pictures. There we didn't have cameras and stuff like you do nowadays. Yeah, hybrid panfish. Yeah, weird colors on that thing. Um, and I think Arms Family Homestead, they've caught a lot of them. Weird panfish that was mixed breed. But we're at the hour mark here, so I'm going to go ahead and end it. Um, I already got another show lined up for next week, so make sure you come back and check things out. See who we have, and it's actual somebody with a kayak too, so should be some good interview there. I want to thank WattLife for hanging out with us tonight and answering some questions of his adventures down there in Georgia.
I appreciate it, and happy National Wildlife Day.
Oh yeah. and that's probably the best thing about uh going fishing and stuff is just the wildlife. Until next time, we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks everybody.
Night, y'all.